For the first time in years, the employment-based second preference category, EB-2, is showing the word every skilled worker has been waiting to see: current. If you are EB-2 and chargeable to rest of world, Mexico, or the Philippines, the I-485 filing window is officially open right now. But here's the part most people will miss. Inside this same bulletin, the State Department quietly inserted a retrogression warning that could close this window before summer. And the reason EB-2 suddenly went current is directly tied to the 75-country immigrant visa freeze, a connection almost no one is explaining clearly. This video breaks down every category, every risk, and every action step you need to take before the window shifts again. This is U.S. Immigration News Daily, your trusted source for verified updates, clear explanations, and fact-driven analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you're navigating the immigration system, tracking a priority date, or supporting a family member through this process, this channel is built for you. Here, you get accuracy, clarity, and the truth, so you always understand what's happening and what it means for your case. Here's what we're covering today. And stay with me, because the final section is where your strategy becomes clear. 1. The two Visa Bulletin charts and why the difference between them determines what you can do today. 2. Every major category movement in March 2026, EB-1, EB-2, EB-3, EB-4, and EB-5. 3. The retrogression warning the State Department placed directly inside this bulletin. 4. The link between the 75-country visa freeze and these sudden movements. 5. What nationals of paused countries inside the U.S. must understand immediately. 6. Action steps tailored to your exact situation. If you are anywhere near filing, this is the most important breakdown you will watch this month. Section 1. The two charts. Every Visa Bulletin publishes two charts, and understanding the difference is the key to knowing whether you can file right now. Final action dates determine when your green card can actually be approved and issued. Dates for filing determine when you are allowed to submit your I-485, even if your final action date is not current yet. And here's why that matters. Once your I-485 is filed and accepted, you unlock two of the most valuable benefits in the entire immigration system. First, an employment authorization document, which allows you to work for any employer. Second, advance parole, which allows you to travel internationally without abandoning your case. These benefits activate while you wait for final action dates to catch up. For March 2026, USCIS has confirmed that both employment-based and family-sponsored applicants must use the dates for filing chart. This is the 5th consecutive month USCIS has made this choice, and it is a strong signal that visa numbers are available and the agency is encouraging filings. Drop your category and your country in the comments. Tell me where your priority date falls against the March cutoffs. I read every comment on this channel, and your input helps shape future videos. Section 2. March 2026 Bulletin. Category Breakdown. Let's walk through every employment-based category in the March 2026 Visa Bulletin from EB-1 through EB-5. Some categories moved exactly as expected, while others made the biggest jumps we have seen in years. EB-1. Priority workers. Rest of world, Mexico, and the Philippines remain current on both charts. That means any EB-1 applicant chargeable to these regions can file at any time, with any priority date. China and India both advanced. Dates for filing moved forward 4 months to December 1st, 2023. Final action moved forward 1 month to March 1st, 2023. This is steady, controlled movement, consistent with the pattern we have seen since late 2025. EB-2. Advanced degree and exceptional ability. This is the headline of the March Bulletin. On the dates for filing chart, EB-2 for rest of world, Mexico, and the Philippines jumped from October 15, 2024, all the way to current. That is a leap of more than 6 months in a single cycle. Here's what that means. If you have an approved I-140 and you are inside the United States, you can file your I-485 right now, regardless of your priority date. On the final action chart, EB-2 Rest of World advanced to October 15, 2024. You still need final action to reach your date for the green card to be approved, but filing now locks in 3 critical benefits: work authorization, travel permission, and protection from future retrogression. Now let's talk about India and China. EB-2. India moved significantly this month. Dates for filing advanced 11 months to November 1, 2014. Final action advanced 2 months to September 15, 2013. This is one of the largest single-month movements for India in recent memory. EB-2. China did not move this month. Dates for filing remain at January 1, 2022. Final action remains at September 1, 2021. China is stable with no forward movement. Now let's move to EB-3. Professionals, skilled workers, and other workers. For Rest of World and Mexico, the dates for filing chart advanced to January 15, 2024. The Philippines also moved to January 15, 2024. Final action dates for these regions aligned closely with those movements, showing steady and predictable progress. EB-3, India advanced on the dates for filing chart to August 15, 2014. It is a modest but meaningful forward shift. EB-3, China saw no movement this month. For EB-3 other workers in the Rest of World category, the date advanced to June 22, 2022. This category continues to move at a slower, more controlled pace. Now let's look at EB-4, Special Immigrants. This is one of the largest single movements in the entire bulletin. EB-4 advanced nearly 2 full years across all countries on the dates for filing chart. If you fall under a special immigrant category, such as religious workers, certain broadcasters, or certain employees of the U.S. government abroad, this is the month to verify whether you can file. Finally, EB-5, Immigrant Investors. In the EB-5 unreserved category, Rest of World remains current. China advanced to October 1, 2016. India remains at May 1, 2024. In the EB-5 set-aside categories, rural, high unemployment, and infrastructure, every category remains current for all countries. These set-aside categories continue to show strong visa availability under the updated EB-5 framework. Section 3. The Retrogression Warning. The March 2026 Visa Bulletin includes language that every advancing category applicant needs to pay attention to. The State Department stated directly that as additional immigrant visa demand materializes or as administration actions are amended, retrogression may be necessary later in the fiscal year to keep issuances within annual limits. This is not routine boilerplate. This is a deliberate, active warning. Retrogression means a priority date that is current today could be pushed backward in a future bulletin, sometimes by months, sometimes by years. The fiscal year ends on September 30, 2026. That is the outer boundary of this window. And historically, when we see rapid advancement early in the year, it is often followed by a mid-year correction. The State Department is signaling that possibility clearly. Now let's talk about why this is happening. There's a fixed annual ceiling on employment-based immigrant visas. When the 75-country immigrant visa frees reduced consular processing abroad, the visa numbers that would normally be used at embassies and consulates were suddenly available for redistribution to applicants filing inside the United States. That freed-up supply is one of the primary reasons EB-2 Rest of World reached current in March. But here is the part most people are not thinking about. If the freeze is lifted, whether by court order or administrative action, consular processing will resume. And when that happens, demand for visa numbers will surge from both directions at the same time, from applicants abroad and from applicants inside the United States. The dates that advanced because of the freeze could retrogress precisely when the freeze ends. This is the real story behind the March Bulletin. This connection between the freeze and the Visa Bulletin is the most important immigration story right now. Share this video with anyone you know who has an approved I-140 and has been waiting on a priority date. This filing window may not stay open long. Section 4. Paused country nationals inside the United States. If you are a national of one of the 75 paused countries, Nigeria, Pakistan, Colombia, Brazil, Ethiopia, Jamaica, or any other, and you are currently inside the United States on valid non-immigrant status with an approved I-140, your situation is very different from people waiting abroad. Consular processing is frozen for you at U.S. embassies, but USCIS has not announced any pause on I-485. Adjustment of status inside the United States. That means the March 2026 bulletin may have opened a filing window for you that did not exist in February. EB-2 is current for rest of world. If your category and your country of chargeability match the March cutoffs, the domestic adjustment pathway may be available to you right now. And choosing that pathway could be the difference between waiting years or filing today. This is the most consequential nuance in the entire bulletin for a very large group of people. It requires urgency, and it also requires caution. Because if the Clinic versus Rubio lawsuit succeeds and consular processing resumes, these dates could retrogress. Section 5. Clarifications and warnings. Clarification 1. Current on the dates for filing chart does not mean your green card is approved today. It means you are allowed to submit your I-485 application. Your green card is approved only when your priority date becomes current on the final action dates chart. And for EB-2 rest of world, that final action cutoff is October 15, 2024. It is not yet current. Filing now secures work authorization and travel documents while you wait. Clarification 2. These dates are not guaranteed to remain current through September. The bulletin says this directly. The same freeze that created this opportunity also makes it fragile. Do not delay filing based on the assumption that current means permanent. Clarification 3. Nationals of paused countries are not locked out of everything. The pause affects consular processing abroad. It does not, based on current USCIS guidance, affect I-485 filing inside the United States. If you are in the U.S. on valid non-immigrant status, this distinction may be the most important immigration fact you learn this year. What is your category, your country, and where does your priority date fall against the March cutoffs? Tell me in the comments. Your situation helps every other viewer watching this video understand their own. Section 6. Action steps by situation. If you are EB-2, rest of world, Mexico, or the Philippines, and you are inside the United States with an approved I-140, your filing window is open right now. Evaluate submitting your I-485 without delay. Gather your civil documents, your medical examination, and your financial evidence immediately. The retrogression warning is real, and earlier filings lead to earlier work authorization. If you are EB-2 India with a priority date before November 1, 2014, verify whether the 11-month advancement has opened your filing window this month. If it has, this is your moment to act. If you are EB-3, rest of world or Mexico with a priority date before January 15, 2024, your dates for filing cutoff advanced. Evaluate whether March opens your I-485 filing window. If you are from a paused country and you are inside the United States on valid non-immigrant status with an approved I-140, your consular pathway is frozen. Evaluate your eligibility for domestic adjustment of status under the March 2026 dates for filing chart. This pathway is open, and your priority date may now qualify. Assess this with urgency. If you are from a paused country and you are abroad, continue attending your scheduled consular interviews. Do not abandon your case. Monitor the Clinic versus Rubio lawsuit in the Southern District of New York. Any injunction or ruling will be covered immediately on this channel. Every update affecting these filing windows, every new bulletin, every court ruling, every USCIS announcement comes to this channel at 2 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe and turn on the bell right now. Here is your full recap. USCIS is using the dates for filing chart for March. This is the 5th consecutive month. EB-2, Rest of World, Mexico, and the Philippines are current on that chart. EB-2, India advanced 11 months to November 1st, 2014. EB-3, Rest of World advanced to January 15th, 2024. EB-4 advanced nearly 2 years across all countries. EB-5, Unreserved and all set-aside categories remain current for Rest of World. The retrogression warning in this bulletin is explicit. The forward movement is partly driven by the 75-country immigrant visa freeze. If that freeze lifts, these dates could retrogress. For paused country nationals inside the United States, the domestic 1485 pathway remains open under current USCIS guidance, and the March bulletin may have created a filing window that did not exist last month. The information in this video is for news and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice, and it does not replace consultation with a licensed immigration attorney. Individual case outcomes depend on specific facts and circumstances. The immigration system is moving faster right now than it has in years, and in multiple directions at once. The policies, the courts, and the Visa Bulletin are all shifting month by month. You need information that is accurate, timely, and delivered with the seriousness your situation deserves. That is what this channel provides every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with every person in your network who has been watching a priority date month after month waiting for a window to open. For many of them, that window is open right now, coming up this Monday. The Clinic versus Rubio lawsuit challenging the 75-country immigrant visa freeze is moving through federal court in the Southern District of New York. We are tracking whether a judge may issue emergency relief. We will break down the latest filings, what an injunction would mean for frozen consular cases, and what affected applicants should watch in the days ahead. Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Be there.